Hey folks, how are we doing today? It's George here at the Westy in West Seattle, and today we're going to go through the process of how to make and the history of the Preakness cocktail. The Preakness originally came to being as a after-party cocktail for the Preakness Stakes. If you're not familiar, the Preakness Stakes is 1/3 of the Triple Crown of horse racing. It is at the Pimlico Racetrack in Baltimore, Maryland, and was said to be created just for the first Preakness ball in the 1930s. It was originally a cocktail made with rye, which is traditionally going to be in your 100 to 110 proof. Today, just because of how things have been this last year with 2020, with the pandemic, the West Seattle Bridge, and today's political environment, we decided to use something a little softer because it seems that everybody's been probably punched in the mouth enough for this year. What we're going to do is we're going to use Angel's Envy bourbon, which is an 86.6 proof bourbon that has been finished in port wine casks. So it's going to soften up and bring in some of those richer wine notes. The cocktail is going to start with 2 ounces of that. Go ahead and get that measured out, and we're going to put that in our mixing glass here. Like I said, we're using the bourbon just because it's going to be a little bit softer and a little more palatable, and that way you'll get to taste some more of the nuances of some of the other ingredients. We're going to go ahead and add 2 dashes of the old cocktail staple, some Angostura bitters. From there, we're going to use a Koki Torino vermouth, which is going to be a little drier than your traditional vermouths. We're doing that today because of using the sweeter Angel's Envy bourbon. We wanted to kind of balance that out a little bit more with the drier vermouth. So it's going to be 3/4 of an ounce of the vermouth. There we are. And then after that, we are going to use a 1/4 ounce of Benedictine. If you're not familiar with Benedictine, it is an herb fortified wine from Italy, which has been made for roughly 500 years. It's got 27 different herbs. Some of the more predominant herbs that are in it are going to be angelica root, saffron, and honey. It doesn't take a whole bunch of that. That's why we're just going to use a little 1/4 ounce of that. It's really easy to overdo with this one, so be careful and sparingly with it. Go ahead and add that there. Got all that in the cocktail glass. We're going to go ahead and add some ice. And go ahead and get that stirred up. When you're stirring a cocktail, you definitely want to make sure that you get it good and cold, but you also want to make sure that you stir it enough to get some of that dilution from the ice cubes in there. Water is always a very important ingredient in almost all cocktails because it's going to open up the flavors and get you to be able to taste some more of the nuances of the ingredients that you use. Should be about right about there. And then we're going to go ahead and transfer that into one of our cocktail glasses right here. Go ahead and strain that off. There we are. And then we're going to go ahead and garnish that with a cherry and then a candied orange peel. All of these ingredients will be included in the kit that we will be providing for you. It will all come together, so you won't even have to put it together yourself. It'll come in a little bottle like this. You'll go ahead and just take 3 ounces out of that already put together bottle and go ahead and stir that up and add your garnishes, and it's ready to drink. Remember to support local businesses during these trying times, and we'll go ahead and pass it off to the guys over at Elliott Bay Brewing Company. Thanks for joining us.